So I really don't know how I am starting this, but today is the Creative Strategy Agency's 10th anniversary. So today I've been in business for 10 years. 10 years is a lot. 10 years has moved pretty quick. A lot's happened personally and professionally in those 10 years that I am not the same person 10 years ago. So for those of you that may not know, I can kind of go into how I started the business. I was 23 and got laid off in 2008. I was in Boston at the time, and at the time no one knew it was a recession, but you look at marketing, it's always a first budget cut, it's always the first layoffs when things start going down, which is actually probably the worst time to stop spending on marketing, but that's a whole nother conversation and another video. But I moved back home, 23, tail between my legs, called my parents, and Boston was just expensive. So moved back to Western Mass, and I could not find a job in marketing. So I ended up getting a part-time bank teller position to essentially help pay for bills and not mooch off my parents. And so in that time period, I became pretty restless. I am not one to sit and do the same thing over and over again as a repetitive job. So within the first month, I got really bored and started doing some consulting on the side for marketing to build up my resume until I found that marketing job. As I started doing some consulting on the side for family and friends, I just really started loving it, and I ended up landing my first paying client as a corporate national company. And so for me, I took that as an opportunity to let's see where this goes. Their retainer was more than I was making part-time at the bank. And so I said, all right, let's just see where this goes. Now, fast forward 10 years, I don't think I could ever work for anyone ever again, which is probably a good thing. But I really wanted to share, and I know this is kind of really cliche, but 10 things I learned in these 10 past years. So I guess I'll just start with the first one, where you're gonna fuck up and it's totally okay. Life moves on. I think the biggest thing I learned is learning from the mistake and moving on, not dwelling in it, not worrying about, oh my God, just learn what you could have done better and move on. The more you dwell on it, the more it's gonna fuck everything else up in what you do in trying to run the business. So learn from it and move on. It's gonna happen, so just be proactive with it. The next one that I learned, that you can't do everything. Whether you're a solopreneur, you're running a business, I learned you just could not do everything. And it's not just meaning bringing on employees, it's finding the right team, the right network of people to help you when you have issues, bringing on the right accountant, there's so much more. You need the right team around you to be able to be successful. And you really can't do everything. Learn what you can do the best and do that, and bring in help for everything else. The third one I learned very early on. In the first couple years of my business, I met with a friend, Chris Chappell, who now is Chris Baker, but introduced me to Sue Kaplan. And Sue said something to me that, in that first meeting with her, resonated with me very much, where she told me blatantly, asked me, how much time are you spending in the office? And she said, double that. You need to be spending just the same amount of time out of the office. So essentially, it was, you need to network, you need to get out there, you need to meet people. The only way you're gonna get business is if you put your face in front of them and you meet them and you handshake and things like that. So with that piece of advice, I joined boards, I joined committees, I got involved, passion projects, work projects. I got out there and I met a lot of people, which really helped build my network and really helped build my business. And so for that, Sue, thank you. The next one, number 4, is stop worrying about the competition. I think, especially in the marketing industry, people are always trying to one-up each other. Me and my agency are very collaborative, where we work with other agencies, but there are always going to be people that are going to try to one-up and try to be competitive. And friendly competition is great, but there's always enough work to go around. So stop worrying about what so-and-so is doing, and focus on yourself, focus on your own business. I admit early on I was always worried about the competition, but I really don't think I have any. If you put that mentality there, where you can have people that do what you do, but doesn't mean that they're competition. So just stop worrying about other people and just focus on yourself. One thing I learned, and I would say this is my number 5 tip, is to try to unplug at least once a week, especially for what I do. And even though I'm not in the office, I'm always working because of the phone. It's very important to know your boundaries and to set those boundaries with your clients or your team. So for me, I try to spend Sundays away from the phone, no checking emails, just really spending it downtime, however I decide I want to spend that Sunday. So finding one day a week to just unwind and unplug is huge, not just for workload wise, but just for mental wellness and just giving yourself a break. As business owners, we're running and working around the clock, and so it's important to just take a step back and relax. Number 6, which kind of ties into number 5, depending, but finding and hanging out with people that make you happy and less stressed and make you forget about the headaches of the business, I think, and that's, family, it's friends. It's very important to have that people around you that will help de-stress you, because running a business and especially being in marketing, there's just a lot that can be overwhelming, especially in the social media world where it's a 24/7 thing and not a 9 to 5. But for me, I found solace in my brothers and my family, a few friends that I can go out after work and just be relaxed. Just finding people that will help you decompress and make you happy will be more beneficial for the business. And I found that, I started chopping people out because they added more stress to my life, and you don't need that. We're getting, I'm in my mid-30s, and you're getting to the age where you need to grow the fuck up. Number 7, I still learning how to do this, and it's definitely a process, but it's learning how to say no. A few years ago, took a step back and left every board and committee to really spend time working on the business, on myself, and learning how to say no was not the easiest thing, but it was the best thing. And I think if you can realize what's important to you in the business, and you stay on that path, it's going to be easier to say no, but it's also practicing. So start practicing by saying no to little things like going to lunch meetings or going to happy hour. I think you practice saying no, you'll be able to say no when the bigger questions come, like joining a board or a committee or doing things you just genuinely don't want to do. So start off by saying no to little things, and I think that will help you. It really has helped me, even though I'm still struggling and learning how to say no. Number 8, I think, is very important in the everyday operation of the business that I learned, is just being present. So in that meeting, being present in that meeting. Working on a project, work on that project. Not doing 500 things at once. Not trying to think of the next meeting while I'm in a current meeting. Being present allows you to focus and be more productive. And I really, for me, I'm the type that have 15 tabs open in my mind all the time, running around between things, but really focusing and being present on what you're actually doing at that moment just helps me, and maybe if you're taking this advice, be a little bit more productive and getting more shit done in your day. So number 9, I think it's important to build a network. So my tip for you is find people or someone that you can let your frustrations out to, but not on. So I mean that where if you build, I have a few friends where if we get together, I can just tell them the stresses of the day, bitch, complain, whatever it may be, and they're listening and they give me feedback, and I feel a lot better about it. I'm not lashing out at them, I'm just sharing my frustrations to them, not on them. So finding people that you can just share your frustrations and get feedback on without doing that with clients or doing it with family who don't fully understand what's going on or may take it the wrong way. Having that network of people where you can kind of just vent to each other, I think, is huge. And I found that to be very helpful for me when dealing with stress and anxiety and things that come with running a business. The last one, I mean, I think it's kind of whatever, but it's to relax. Rome wasn't built in a day. I hit 10 years, but I feel like I'm just getting started. So I think there's people that quit before they expect things to happen right away. These 10 years have had so many ups and downs, but I'm one that just does not fucking give up. And I'm glad I didn't. And it wasn't until the last 3 years where I've hit this stride. The first few years of running the business, you know, you don't know shit. I was 24. 24 years old, you thought you would know everything. For me, I think it's important where you just work on it day by day, week by week, month by month, and changes will happen and business will get better. So I think, you know, work hard, relax. It just takes time, and just keep pushing. So these were the 10 things I learned and hopefully can share with you guys, but I'm excited for these next 10 years. The past 10 years have been nuts. I'm just looking forward to what's going to be coming and what else I can learn being a young entrepreneur. So it's about 8:30 on Friday, and now I should probably start getting to work. So thanks for listening.